Hello beautiful people, I'm Rish Phoenix, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this look. It's going to kind of be like a low-key tutorial, but also kind of like a get ready with me, and we're just going to talk about life. When it comes to this look, this is kind of like my low-key beat. On a regular basis, I don't do foundation or contouring, I just apply highlight and then I focus on my lipstick and eyeshadow and eyebrows. So I'm going to show you guys how to get this look. Let's get into it. So let's just address the uninvited guest in the room. I'm sure we all see her. She's not that hard to miss. I made a schedule with my face. We made a very clear schedule for a party. And we spoke about uninvited guests. She was one of those uninvited guests. I don't know how she thought or why she thought it was okay to come through. I didn't tell her to come through. I don't know why she's there, but this is the only time in this video that we are going to address her. And from here on out, she's not there. We're not gonna talk about her, because this is what happens when you throw a party with your face and you beat it to the gods after not beating it to the gods or putting any makeup on for a bunch of weeks, and then you put makeup on and then your skin is just like, whoa, like, what is this? It's just like, we spoke about this. We made a schedule to be beat to the gods, and we spoke about the uninvited guests. Why is she here? Well, you know what? It's fine. We're not gonna think about her. I'm gonna start with my brows. So for my brows, I'm going to use the NYX eyebrow pencil in dark brown. Not sure if you guys can see that. So I'm going to be using that. I usually use the Cabrow from Benefit, but I don't have the coins to buy a new one, so this is going to have to do. So how are you guys doing today? I've never been the type to be super excited about fall, but I'm really excited for fall this year because this past summer was, well, not past summer, we're still in summer, but this summer has been ridiculous. Specifically, I'm talking about Mercury in retrograde. Like, can we just address, and I'll insert the dates because I can't remember the dates off the top of my head right now, but when Mercury was in retrograde, that was ridiculous. I feel like when Mercury was in retrograde, I feel like, you ever understand something that you're doing, but for some reason you still end up doing it, and you're like, we spoke about this, like, let's say if there's a habit you have of, like, I don't know, like, scratching a certain part of your hairline or your scalp, or, like, little habits like that, where it's just like, oh my gosh, like, I never realized that I used to do that, but now that somebody pointed it out, I won't do it anymore. And then for some reason, even though you've addressed it in your mind that you do it, you still somehow end up doing it. Like, we spoke about this? like when Mercury was in retrograde, I felt like there were so many times when I became aware of the fact that I was thinking in a specific way that was not serving me. Meaning, I was overanalyzing things. I was super paranoid about things. Like, I didn't know if things were going to work out. And even though I was able to realize I was having those thought processes and work on affirmations like I've been telling you guys in my last video, there were moments where I would have a slip up and get sucked into a thought of, oh my gosh, what if? Oh my gosh, what if? And it's like, once I was in that thought process, I could not break out of it for like a couple minutes. And then once I broke out of it, I was just like, I had a discussion with myself that I would not do this anymore, so why is it happening? Like, Mercury in retrograde had me tripping out, where it's like, I know that I wasn't supposed to be thinking in a way that doesn't serve me, but I still ended up doing it. And it was just like a month's worth of time of doing that, so it's like, I would get annoyed at myself for thinking that way, but then also the way I was thinking wasn't serving me, so it's like I had two stressors and oh my god. And also, my moon is in Cancer, and when the moon was in Cancer this summer, I felt so emotional during that time. Like, I got to a point where I felt like I got so needy and so, like, I just needed to be surrounded by, like, loving, nurturing people. I don't know, it was, like, so different for me, because I've kind of, like, I consider myself to be a very independent person. Like, I kind of like to just do things on my own, figure it out on my own. I don't want to, like, take away from anybody else doing whatever they're doing in life. Like, I'd rather just move, like, on my own. And during that time, like, I just felt like I needed to reach out to people. I felt like I needed to communicate, like, hey, I need someone here with me. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I don't know, it's weird when you get to a point in your life where you end up being aware of qualities that you kind of never knew were there or never really experienced. So during that time period, I was experiencing or kind of learning about a different part of myself, like a more vulnerable, I want to say needy, but it's just like, I don't want to just come off as if it's something bad. Like, there's nothing wrong with needing someone. But, I felt like I experienced a different side of myself. And I just want to bring enlightenment to the fact that, like, whenever something happens in life that makes you uncomfortable or is very scary, just know that that is an opportunity for growth. And know that this is, or at least the way I see it, is it's the universe preparing you for the blessings that are coming your way. Because growth doesn't come from staying in your comfort zone. If you keep doing things the same way, and if you keep thinking of things the same way, and you never really experience anything new or different in your life that has never happened before, then you can't grow from staying in your comfort zone. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm still figuring all this out. Like, I'm only speaking from my experience, and I'm only speaking from what I've done that I see works for me. But best believe when I'm going through this, like, I'm bugging, like, I'm freaking out, because it's just like, I don't know what's going on, I don't know how things are gonna work out. But I do know that whatever you put out into the universe is what'll come back to you. So if I tell myself, regardless of how much I'm freaking out, if I tell myself, like, don't worry, it's gonna work out, don't worry, it's okay, don't worry, we're gonna figure this out, it'll work out. I don't know how. Like, honestly, sometimes I really don't know how. But what I try to do is just, I tell myself it's going to work out. I envision it in my head, like during meditation, what this situation working out would look like. And I allow myself to feel that it's happened already, like feel the emotions of it already have happened already. And I allow myself to kind of feel those emotions for a period of time during my meditation. And the following day, I'll just try to do things that make me feel that same level of whatever it is that I'm giving energy to, whether it's like peace or happiness or security, grounded, whatever emotions it is that I want to feel from things working out. I'll do things in my life that make me feel that same emotion. So just know that as long as you keep your head on straight and you stay positive and you focus on those emotions of things working out, it will work out. Like, I think the most difficult thing to really deal with is time. Because when it comes to all the things we want happening, it really depends on time. Like time isn't, it's not something we can control. And time heals, time, time is what it takes to manifest things. Time is something that needs to pass in order for things to come to fruition. So I'm going to clean up that brow with a makeup wipe. I've never been the type to really clean up my brows with concealer. I mean, maybe one day I might do that, but I've never really done that. So what I do is, like, I just go in with a makeup wipe and I clean it up that way. And then for underneath, like where the brow bone is, I'll just apply highlight. And like I'll highlight my brow bone and I'll kind of let the highlight clean up the brow. But kind of waiting for that spot to dry. But yeah, just know that whenever something happens in your life that you don't understand or it makes you freak out, know it's an opportunity for growth. Know that the universe is preparing you for something. Know that you're becoming a better version of yourself. And for me, during Mercury being in retrograde and the moon being in Cancer, it really got me in touch with a part of me understanding how to reach out to people, understanding how to look into information, and to be more specific, because I know there's probably going to be somebody out there like, what are you talking about? Like, what was stressing you out? I am talking about going to the doctor when you don't have health insurance. I am talking about paying off college loans when you don't have the money to make your loan payment. That is what I'm talking about. Okay? So, like, within the last month, I was able to get health insurance and understand how it works and change my loan repayment plan to an income-based repayment plan so that I can actually figure my life out and not have to stress about those things. And it's like, I don't know about you guys, but I was never really taught about health insurance. Like, I know what it is, but it's like I was never really taught, like, how to get it or why you need it. Um, it's like I was part of my parents' health insurance, and then I kind of just got, like, well, hey, now that you're at this age, like, you gotta do it on your own. And I was just like, okay. But it's like that's not really telling me, like, how to do it. It's kind of just telling me you need to do it, but I don't know how. So I didn't know how to do it. But I spoke to a friend of mine, and she helped me out, and God bless her soul for that, because I was able to figure things out. Um, but yeah, there are going to be stressful things that come your way during life, and just make sure you reach out to people, because, like I said, people can't teach you about things if they were never taught that. So it's like, I can't expect somebody to pass down information to me if that information was never passed down to them. So always reach out to the people you have around you and see if anyone has the information you need so you can figure out how to life, you know? I just applied the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Original. So that base is already on my lid. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't know exactly what colors I'm going to be using today. Or more so how I want to do this look. I'm definitely going to be going for a halo eye. Definitely want some fall vibes. I think I'm going to use the Subculture palette. I'm going to go in with New Wave on my crease, which is this shade right here. And also, I know this looks rough, but this, I got the Subculture palette in the beginning, so I still have one of the palettes that there's just a bunch of fallout, and I hit pan real quick. Real quick, okay? So I'm going to go in with New Wave on the crease. And I'm going to use a Morphe M505 brush. This is what mine looks like. It looks a little bit rough because I use it all the time. And yeah. Yeah, another reason why I'm excited for, or looking forward to fall is because it's been too hot. I'm really over it. Like, I don't know if it's because of Mercury being in retrograde stressing me out, but, like, I'm over the heat. Like, it was on some next level type burn up your ass. Like, nope. Not with it. I am not with it. So, I'm just looking forward to cooler weather, new beginnings. And it's like I love, or let's say I kind of now have like a new level of appreciation for seeing leaves change color and fall. Because last fall was kind of like, it's kind of like it got cold. I think it got cold and then like the leaves were just on the ground. Like they never changed color, they were just on the ground. It was weird. So it's like this year, I really want it to be fall. Like I want to see the leaves change, and then I want to see them fall. Like I'm here for the experience, walking down the street and like stepping on acorns, hearing that satisfying crunch. Like I want fall. I feel like the busiest time for me is now, like around October, September, because that's when Comic-Con happens. All the conventions that I feel like are in New York, that's when generally that's when it happens. So it's like, this is kind of, and like, of course, Halloween and like dressing up. It's like Comic-Con for me is kind of like my way of celebrating Halloween, if you want to call it that, because on Halloween I don't really do anything. I don't get candy. I might buy it after that sale hits, but on Halloween I don't really get candy or anything. I don't really go to parties. I'm not really, like I'm more the type of person who would rather hang out with one person one-on-one and have a deep conversation and just chill out, as opposed to go to a party where a bunch of people are just talking, and then the next day it's just like, hey, remember that conversation? And they're like, no. And you're just like, we had a deep conversation and you don't. Okay, you don't remember? Alright, okay. Like, I don't know, but then again, that's just my perception of how I think it would happen, because I don't really go to parties a lot to even say that that is what happens. So Comic-Con is my way of kind of like doing something around that time of year. And this year I'm gonna be Scarlet from Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna do my best to, alright, I'll give you guys a few spoilers. Just a few. So, I plan on doing a Scarlet makeup tutorial and showing you guys how I do my makeup for my Scarlet cosplay. And then I definitely want to vlog while at Comic-Con. But it's probably going to be mostly like, just video clips of the convention and like the merch they have there. And like cosplayers probably. And if you guys have ever been to Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, like, what do you guys usually do when you go there? Because I'm the type of person who usually just, like I kind of go for the energy, like, being surrounded by people who genuinely love the same things that I do. And from my experience, like, they're just so supportive. Like, I just love how supportive people are when it comes to recognizing your character, wanting to take pictures with you, and like I just love that. It's like meeting family members who you didn't know were there, who genuinely love and appreciate you. And even though I cosplay, like, it wasn't until, I don't know when, but it wasn't until like recently that I decided I wanted to do it seriously. Because when I went to Comic-Con the first year, like, I can't remember what year it was that I went. But, like, when I was going to Comic-Con, that was, like, before they had the fan verification stuff, and you kind of just bought a ticket and whatever. You didn't have to wait in, like, an online line to buy a ticket. But it's like when I first went to Comic-Con, like, I kind of just, like, I don't know, I kind of, like, half-assed my costume. Like, I was Sweet Pea from Sucker Punch. When I say half-assed, I mean, like, I didn't really care about being, like, super accurate. Like, I just wanted to put something on and go. Whereas now I'm just, like, be accurate. Like, I'm very OCD, so it's like, if I'm going to be a character, I want to make sure that I have everything that I need for that costume, and I want to make sure that I execute it to, like, the best way possible. Okay, so I'm going to use All-Star now, and I'm going to use that pretty much on the inner crease and outer crease to get that halo effect. Still using the same brush, the Morphe M505. Yeah, I always do my best to kind of get that accuracy across with my costumes, and for the most part, I've never made a cosplay from scratch. What I usually do is I buy it from some website online, and then if there's anything that is off about the costume, or doesn't work for me, like, I'll go in and I'll, like, sew whatever I need to, or I'll make whatever props that I may need. So I've never made a cosplay from scratch, but eventually I definitely want to get to that point. But yeah, it's definitely something I'm still learning how to do. But for my Scarlet cosplay, I bought the entire thing from online, and pretty much the only thing I'm gonna have to make is the kunais that she has on her leg. So I think I'm just gonna use insulation foam and I'm trying to think what other materials I have. I think I'm gonna use insulation foam and paint it. Of course, like, shape it, cut it out, and all that stuff, sand it. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I am going to record a tutorial for you guys on how I did it, even though it's probably not going to be maybe, like, the best execution ever, but if I can share something to help, I'll share something to help. But yeah, definitely looking forward to Comic-Con. I'll be putting up videos for you guys regarding, like, my costume and how I make whatever additional props that I need to make. So those videos will be on their way, of course, around after Comic-Con. But yeah, always feel free to leave comments below about anything you want me to further talk about, or, like, I don't know, like, if you have any tips for, like, future videos, let me know. And I'll figure out what I can do. But, like, also when it comes to giving you guys advice, like, something I really want to get across is, like, I want you guys to believe in yourself, because I feel like when a lot of people give advice, they're telling you what to do instead of kind of saying, believe in yourself and know your instinct and know what comes natural to you. Because I feel like there's a lot of moments in life where, like, we're taught to do something a certain way. Like, let's say if, I don't know, your entire life you've been taught to have breakfast at 6 a.m. because if you don't have breakfast at 6 a.m., you're going to feel like poop for the rest of the day. Like, let's say somebody told you that. So since you were younger, up until your 20s, you always have, oh my god, I just blinded myself. Jesus, Lord God. So let's say you always have breakfast at 6 a.m. and then when you hit your 20s, something happens where when you have breakfast at 6 a.m., you start to notice that it makes you nauseous, and something that used to help you when you were younger now doesn't serve you anymore. Now, there's probably a part of you that's going to be like, I know y'all see that light in my eye. Jesus, Lord God, if I blind myself one more time. So, since you were taught to do this since you were younger, there's probably a part of you that's just like, why now? Like, why is it that I've been doing something for the majority of my life and suddenly it's not working? And I feel like what kind of comes with that is that you kind of start to feel like there's no way possibly that this thing cannot serve you anymore if it's been serving you for the majority of your life. Especially if it's been taught to you. But at that point, that's when you have to really listen to yourself, listen to your body, and know that if eating breakfast at 6 a.m. in the morning makes you nauseous, now you need to make sure that you figure figure something else out that works for you. I feel like when people give advice, it's to tell you, do this because it worked for them, rather to encourage you to believe in yourself and to know for yourself this is what works or what doesn't work for you. Like, it's for you, you know? Like, you can't really tell somebody, hey, this is what makes you happy. You have to figure out for yourself what makes you happy. So, I'm the type of person who would rather teach you guys how to fish instead of selling you guys a fish every day. You understand? Like, I want you guys to believe in yourself. I want you guys to know that you are capable of anything and everything. I want you guys to know that you can do this. Like, any achievement that somebody else has achieved is something you can achieve as well. If you work hard at it, if you give it your all, in your unique way, you can achieve it. And I feel like that's something that happens a lot, where people feel like, well, that person's good at this, but I can't be good at it. Like, you can be good at it too, but just know it won't be in the same way as that other person, because you are two different people. You will achieve things differently, but it doesn't take away the fact that you've achieved it. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Adorn on the center of my lid. And I'm going to use my finger to apply it, because I feel like with me, when it comes to shades like this, any shimmer shades or any reflect type of shade, whenever I apply it with my ring finger, I feel like it goes on so much better, and like the warmth of my finger helps apply the shade, rather than when I use like a flat brush, it just doesn't come off the same. But yeah, definitely guys, like, believe in yourself, build trust within yourself, learn about yourself. Whatever has been taught to you, if it doesn't serve you anymore, like, teach yourself something else, like, unlearn, I don't know if that's the right word, but pretty much let go of whatever has been taught to you that doesn't serve you in a positive way anymore, and reteach yourself something that's more healthy for yourself. And I feel like one of the most difficult things when it comes to believing in yourself is to also not identify with your ego. And I refer to identifying with your ego when you feel like you have to prove or defend something. So if you have to prove or defend a point, if you have to prove or defend that you've done something, you're identifying with your ego. And the reason why you don't want to do that is because, like, the ego will really trick you into believing that, like, it's making things better, but it's really making things worse, because who wants to live their entire life proving and defending? Like, just know what you know. Like, for me, I think it's so much healthier to live in a state where you know something, but you're also open to learning other things in terms of, like, your point of view. But if you're always proving and defending everything, like, I told you that I would never do this, or I told you, like, let me try to think of a better example. Like, if you always have to prove, let's say you have a job, right? You have a job, and you always have to prove to your coworkers that you didn't do something, like you didn't make a certain mess on the floor, that you're not the person who, I don't know, is responsible for some accident that keeps happening. I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, you just say, I didn't do it, or I was doing this instead. But if you're constantly being questioned at that job, that means that you're probably in an environment where they, like, the way people treat you is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. So if somebody keeps treating you in a way that they don't trust you, it probably means they don't trust themselves, you know? And they can only treat you what they know. So if they're treating you that way, it's because that's the only thing they know. And they're not really open to anything else, so that means you just gotta remove yourself from that environment and put yourself in a space where people trust and believe in you because you've always had that quality and you were just in an environment where those people couldn't recognize that within you because they couldn't recognize that within themselves, you know? And there will be moments when you'll know, like, you'll know when you have to say something to kind of stand up for a situation. And those are the moments when you'll feel it deep in your heart and you'll feel it resonate on such a peaceful, loving energy. And that's the moment when you're not identifying with your ego. That's the moment when you're saying something that will really heal and help people. But if you're saying something with the energy of proving and defending, like you're already putting yourself in a state of like, I don't know, anxiety, feeling threatened. And it's just like the more you ground yourself, the more that you know something deep within your heart and you don't have to prove it, like the better you'll be. And also you're just introducing to yourself like a state of mind and a state of living that's so much healthier. Because there are going to be people that come into your life and like the way I see those people are like, it's little tests. Like it's tests of how much do you believe in yourself? Like how much do you trust yourself? And if someone can say something to you, but they're not somebody, like let's say it's a stranger, like someone you're not going to run into again. If somebody can say something to you that you don't agree with, and you say, hey, like, I understand that that's what you think, but this is my idea. And if they're like, nope, it's not that, you're wrong, how dare you think that? And if you can just be like, okay, and you walk away, that is the moment where you've reached another state of peace in your life. Because that person, I guarantee that person who felt so strongly whatever they did, after they hear you say what you think, and they know that you don't agree with them, but you're able to just be like, okay, and you walk away, like that may be the moment where they suddenly question, or hopefully they start to question their thoughts, and hopefully they start going on a path in their life where they become more of a healing energy, more of a loving and nurturing energy as opposed to an attacking, defending type of energy, you know? So, just know, like, and understand, like, the ripples of your actions. And also, it's so much more peaceful to be loving and nurturing towards people. Like when it comes to me, when I like interact with people, I really tell them like thank you. Even simple things like when you call to make a doctor's appointment, like I say at the end of the call, like thank you for your help, because you never know what somebody's going through. Like they may be talking very nice to you on the phone, but you never know if they have health issues going on in their family. You don't know if they've been in a very stressful relationship. You just don't know what people are going through. And little things like I truly believe little things like being nice to someone could make the difference in their day. You know, it could really make somebody who may have been miserable for like an entire month because everything has been going wrong, like just feeling that loving, nurturing energy from you and just being positive and nice to them can really make the difference of making them feel so much better about themselves. So it's like little things, like you never know how much it may help, but like be kind and loving and nurturing to other people as much as possible. Even the ones who are mean and rude to you, because those are the people that need that love and that nurturing energy more than anything. Okay, so I just lined my lash line and my waterline with the Maybelline New York Eye Studio eyeliner in Blackest Black. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to deeper out the outer and inner crease with Rowdy. I'm going to use this brush from Coastal Scents. I got it a couple years ago, actually, and it doesn't have a number, but it's part of like a brush set. But I'm just going to use that to apply Rowdy to deepen the outer and inner crease. But as I was saying before, like, just the, and also I'm going to use a really light hand with this because Rowdy gets rowdy. Like, it gets very, it's very pigmented, so a lighter hand. And then also I'm going to use the Morphe 505 again to blend out that shade. But, as I was saying before, like, just be as kind and loving and nurturing to others as possible because you never know what they're going through. And keep in mind that if somebody knew better, they'd do better. Like, that's what I always tell myself. Like, if someone genuinely knew better than what they were doing, they would do it. Like, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that if somebody fully understood the extent of how their actions affect people, they wouldn't treat people the way that they do. So, I always try to keep in mind that at the end of the day, everybody is going through something, and try not to take it personal. And like I said, like, I'm still learning, you know, like, just because I'm giving you guys advice on this doesn't mean that I've reached a point where those things no longer affect me. Like, it still affects me when somebody is rude to me. Like when you're such a loving and nurturing energy and then somebody clashes with you in terms of somebody is disrespectful towards you, it's like I have my moments where I'm just like, I know that I'm on such a different loving level that the way they're treating me is so out of my frequency that, like, I can't even be emotionally affected by it. But then there are other days when, like, I have my slip-ups and I'm not doing too well, and those people really get to me. And on those days it sucks, but, you know, just know at the end of the day, like, your feelings are valid. Don't ever let anybody tell you, like, I hope I'm coming across clear because I want to give useful information in terms of, hey, like, no, somebody's treating you this way, it's because of something they're, like, going through. Like, don't take it personal. But at the end of the day, like, still know that your feelings are valid. Like, if something made you angry, like, it's okay. If something made you sad, it's okay. If you feel like crying, it's okay. Know that your feelings are always valid. But at the same time, just do the best you can to give yourself enough time to allow yourself to feel those emotions, but don't, like, drown yourself in things that don't make you feel good, you know? Because everybody needs time to heal, and however much time you need, like, you'll know. Like, nobody can tell you how much time it takes you to get over something. Like, you know how much time it takes you to get over something, or you know how much time or space you need to deal with the situation. Like, give yourself that. But when it comes to a point where you know you've been feeling this way for, like, months, know that, like, you know, like, reach out to people, look for help, like, figure out somebody who can really help you through this situation. Like, another thing I want to talk about is, like, I'm so sick of people making it seem like, or I'm so sick of it being taught that crying is weak. First of all, there is so much strength in vulnerability. And trust, like, I was at a point in my life, like, when I was younger, I didn't like crying. And the reason I didn't like crying is because I felt like it wasn't solving anything. Like, I felt like I was wasting my time. Like, I'm sitting here crying about something that affected me, but I wanted to physically do something that would make the situation better. So I didn't like crying. But when I got older, I realized how nurturing crying is, because, like, think about even when it rains outside. Like, imagine if the universe could literally talk to you. Imagine if the universe was just like, man, whenever it rains, like, I feel weak because usually I have the sun out, but I feel weak because I'm raining. like I see rain as nurturing, as cleansing, and I think that tears should be viewed the same way. Like, you're cleansing yourself, you're nurturing yourself, you're watering whatever seeds you have sown, you know? Like, whenever you're feeling something that doesn't, whenever you're going through something that really is hurting you or emotionally affecting you to a strong level, like, find a way to let that out. Like, whether it's writing in a journal, whether it's opening a photo booth and recording yourself and how you feel, whether it's reaching out to a friend and sitting down and talking with them about what you're going through. Like, I've realized it's so important to let those things out and literally say it out loud or write it out loud, because you literally need to get those things out of yourself. Or at least for me, I found I need to get those things out of myself, because the more I allow it to process in my mind and keep going on, like, keep repeating in my mind, it just makes it worse. It stresses me out. And I think that's the same thing with crying. Like, you know, whatever emotions you have, like, let them out. Whether it's playing a video, like, for me, I know that when I get super angry, I play a video game. And it helps me get, like, my emotions out. Or if I'm really sad. Like, I know y'all see my Care Bears back here. I will grab my Care Bear, I will go to my window, I will hold it, and I will cry, and I will look at the universe, I'll look at the trees, I'll look at the sky, and I'll give myself as much time as I need, you know? Like, do whatever works best for you, but whatever it is, like, if you're feeling something inside you that doesn't feel good emotionally, let that out. Like, talk to people, say it out loud to yourself, let it out. Because bottling it up is not going to make you feel any better. Okay, so I'm going to go in with All Star on the lower lash line. And I'm going to use the same brush that I used to apply Rowdy. Guys, definitely let out whatever emotions you're feeling. Don't feel weak for it. Know that they're valid. Take care of yourself. Once again, self-love, self-care. Just be aware of the emotions you're experiencing and build trust within yourself. You know, really learn how to do the best you can for yourself. And reach out when you need help. You're not a burden. Take care of yourself. These are all the things that I'm realizing now. And I don't know, it's like I feel like these are just the things that don't get taught to you. And I wish that, like, even in school, like, I wish that they introduced these concepts, because it's like I feel like the things that are very crucial for us, like the things that we should really know, is never taught to us, like how to believe in yourself. I feel like a lot of the things we're taught is like responsibility in terms of, like, you know, when you wake up in the morning, make your bed, get breakfast, like history, we learn about history, we learn about math, we learn about English and reading and stuff, but it's like nobody really teaches you about these things that I'm talking about, you know? And how important it is. I guess it's just that the importance of these things were never stressed to others. And if something was never taught to them, they can't really teach you. So I just hope that more of these teachings are incorporated in like schools so that people are being brought up in or with the knowledge they need to know to always make sure they're giving themselves the best quality of life. I'm going to go in with the shade New Wave, which is the one that I used on my crease. But yeah, I just hope that through me like spreading this information that more people take care of themselves. It's like even when like I say bye to people, I'm just like, bye, like take care, you know, like really, like I mean that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and apply mascara. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris Telescopic Mascara. So that's this one. Yeah, so I'm applying this mascara to both my upper and lower lashes. And then for my lipstick, I need to get a new one of these. So this is the Melt Edible All Day, All Night lip pencil. I can't remember. But this is what it looks like. Obviously, I waste this one off. And now I'm going to go in with the Melt Cosmetics Liquid Set Lipstick in Purr. Also, random side note, when I first got the Melt Cosmetics edible, like the lip pencils and the eyeliners, because of the way this part, like I don't know how to describe it, like the top part was made, I thought it was one of those like lip liners that you turn and it, the rest of the product comes out. And when I realized it wasn't, like, I freaked out because I was just like, I only get this much product. I was just like, what? And then I realized that you're supposed to sharpen it, but it's like, the way the product looked, I was just like, if I'm not supposed to sharpen this, and if when I turn it, more product doesn't come out, like, what do I do? Like, leave it in the comments. Did anybody else freak out when they got their pencil? Like, I was just like, this is so beautifully made. I cannot possibly sharpen it. I'm just like, I don't know how. Like, I just don't know what's going on. But, now that our lips are dry, I'm going to highlight with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Reezy highlight. And I cannot stop using this highlight. This highlight has become my go-to. Like, I just love that it gives, you'll see how it looks. But I just love that it gives the skin, like, a beautiful, natural sheen. And I'm going to go in with the A23 Anastasia Beverly Hills brush to highlight my cheekbones. I kind of just use these circular motions to apply the product. I used to go like this, but I feel like circular motions help diffuse the product better. And also I already highlighted like these other parts of my face. I use the Coastal Scents brush that I have. Like this is just like a smaller flat one, so I use this one to get into like these corners of my eye to bring that highlight out. Sometimes I use it on my nose also to kind of accentuate. Next, I'm going to go in with the Milk Makeup Tattoo Stamp. I'm going to go in with the heart one. It looks like this. I know mine is looking rough. That is because I keep it around like my eyeliner, my eyeshadow, and this is what happens. But I'm just going to apply a little heart over here. I always make sure that like I center it up. I know it's difficult for you guys to see, but I kind of center it in my hand where the heart is, and then with the light hand, there you go. And also guys, I'm going to apologize now for if anything's out of focus, because I don't know if I've said this enough or a lot, but my camera only records 10 minutes at a time, and also the screen doesn't flip, so I can't see myself, I can't see if I'm in focus or not, and it also overheats really quick and the battery dies, so that's why I'm doing certain parts where, like, I know I couldn't show you guys, like, the lip liner and how I highlighted the other parts. I'm working on it. Bear with me. Eventually I'll get another camera that works a lot better, but bear with me. Doing the best I can. I hope this is helping. Alright, so this is today's look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm eventually going to do videos in the future where I go more in depth about my application process and how I do things. But in this video I kind of wanted it to be more of like a chill, get ready with me, let's talk type of vibe. But anyway, I hope this video helped you guys out. Bless up, and until next time, sending out much peace, love, and enlightenment. Bye guys.